Hi guys, it's Mr. Moore. Just getting ready to go over some things with you for chapter 6.1. So new semester, new chapter, very beginning for everything. Some of you might be new to class, so if you have any questions or need anything, feel free to email me at stcs.org, or you can always come into class and ask some questions too. Sometimes these screencasts generate more questions than they give answers. So if that's the case for you, feel free to make contact if that's the case, all right? Let's go ahead and begin. So for our capítulo 6.1, chapter 6.1, vocabulario y gramática, asking for and giving information, let's go ahead and begin. We'll go through pronunciations and definitions for each one, and then a very short amount of grammar, just a few short grammar points afterwards. So here we go. Averiguar is to find out. So averiguar. Claro is clearly or of course. Disculpe means excuse me. Disculpe. Lo siento, I'm sorry. The literal translation is I feel, like I feel it. That's like an empathetic statement. But the general translation is I'm sorry. Me podría decir, could you tell me? No estoy seguro. I'm not sure or I'm not certain. No estoy seguro. No tengo ni idea. I have no idea. Por supuesto, of course. Por supuesto. So por supuesto and claro are synonyms, right? Sabe usted and sabes both ask the question, do you know? However, as you can tell by the use of the word usted, this is when asking someone in a formal form of the word you, like someone you don't know or a boss or something like that. Whereas sabes is asking someone that you would know or someone that you know by the first name, family members, things like that. Bajarse del autobús, to get off of the bus. El conductor, the driver or conductor. El conductor. El edificio is the building. El edificio. El estacionamiento, kind of a long word for parking space. Estacionamiento. El guía or la guía. El guía or la guía, of course, is guide. El guía. La iglesia is church. La iglesia. La lancha is the boat. Lancha. El letrero is the sign. Letrero. La parada del autobús is the bus stop. Parada del autobús. El puente is the bridge. Puente. El río, the river. Río. El semáforo is a traffic light. El semáforo. Subirse al autobús, to get off the bus. Subirse al autobús. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. I was getting that confused with the earlier one. I'm sorry. Subirse, to get on the bus. Bajarse del autobús, to lower off of the bus. Subirse al autobús, to get on the bus. El turista or la turista, as the cognate shows, is tourist. Está bien y super. El turista or la turista. La próxima. Here we go. Make sure this is correct here. There we go. So this is just a little bit of just a few grammar points. As you can tell, the problem is that saber and conocer both mean to know. Like ser versus estar, they're used in different situations though. So we're not focusing in on the preterite tense or the imperfect tenses of them, just the regular present tenses of them. As you can see, they have a slight irregularity to them. Saber, of course, is se as opposed to sabo in the present tense for yo. And conocer is conozco instead of conoco or conoso for the yo form. So a slight spelling change in the yo form for conocer, a slight spelling change, well, a big spelling change for saber in the yo form. Problem with these, se and conozco both mean I know. Sabes and conoces both mean you know. Sabe and conoce both mean he or she knows, or you formal know. Same with sabemos and conocemos. Same with sabes and conoces. Same with saben and conocen. So what's going on here? What's the differences between these two? Saber means to know facts or information, whereas conocer refers to knowing people or places, or being familiar with people or places. So they both can translate to the word to know, but they're different types of knowing. Like there's a difference in, saber cómo usar una computadora, to know how to use a computer, as opposed to knowing a person, like conocer una persona. They're just used in different situations. Even though they translate the same way in English, there's two separate words for them in Spanish. So conocer has to do with being familiar with people, places, whereas saber has to do with knowing facts, information, processes, and so on. Directions would fall into the category of saber as well. Okay, just a little bit more with that, just a written aspect of it. This is just to piggyback on what we've already looked at. Both saber and conocer mean to know, but they're used in different certain circumstances. Saber means to know facts or information. For example, Maria no sabe dónde está Texas. Maria doesn't know where Texas is. That's a fact, a piece of information, a geographical fact. When followed by an infinitive, saber means to know how to do something. I'm going to move me over here. There, now I'm right. There we go. Now we're looking at that stuff right there. Okay. Anyways, when followed by an infinitive, saber means to know how to do something. Like, ¿sabes cómo jugar al tenis? Do you know how to play tennis? Conocer means to know or to be acquainted with a person or a place. Like, ¿conoces el paseo del río? Are you familiar with the river walk? Or remember to use the personal with people after conocer. So this is the personal that we looked at a little bit earlier. For example, ¿conoces a Maria? Do you know who Maria is? And I think that pretty much sums up uses for saber versus conocer. Obviously, the thing that's going to help us most is practice thereof. And we're going to do some both verbally and in written form and a little bit of interaction during class. So if this generates any questions for you, jot them down, bring them with me to class, or you can always email me at some point and we can help you out. Now, the part that probably several of you are watching is extra credit. So what would, is there an extra credit opportunity this week? And I think what we'll do is have you write 5 sentences if you are interested. 2 of them using saber correctly, 2 of them using the words conocer correctly. The only catch is they can't be sentences that I've already given as examples in this presentation. So you'd have to create your own. So just 5 sentences, 2 using saber, and 2 using conocer. Write those down on a note card to me with your name on them. Turn them in first thing on Tuesday or first day of class, depending on what year this is. And all will be well. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you in class.